Hi everyone, this is Laura, and I have a little project that I finished that I'd like to share with you. Before I share with you my layout, it is a 12 by 12 layout. I wanted to share a little story with you guys. I have had this paper collection kit. It's by Echo Park and it's called Sweet Day. And to be honest, guys, I know this is going to sound really, really bad, but I don't remember when I bought this. If it was last year, the year before, might have even been before that. I'm not too sure. But I know it's not too old. It's not. I think I bought it last year, actually, on sale on one of the daily deal sites, I think. But I have loved, loved, loved this. I love Echo Park, and I love this very pretty, soft color palette. As you know, I love hot air balloons, and that's what drew me, was the paper with the hot air balloons. So anyways, my story. I have lately been out of my home a lot, and I have been having to go with my husband to several of his appointments, sometimes even to work with him, and it's due to some health issues that I really don't want to get into. But in order to keep myself from going stir crazy, what I decided to do one day was just grab a kit, and this is all I took with me. I took the kit, I took 3 or 4 ink pads, my scissors, my adhesive, and I grabbed a few wooden embellishments, I believe, and that was it. I'm trying to look at my layout and see what else I grabbed. Oh, I did put some buttons and twine in the kit that it didn't come with. And I decided to try to create a layout using just what I had in my at hand. And because I fit all this in a duffel bag, one of those backpacks, I was very limited to how much stuff I could bring with me. So all I did was grab a scrapbooking kit, my scissors. I didn't even have my paper trimmer, guys. So I had to do all of this by hand. I grabbed some buttons and twine, some ink pads. I think I also grabbed a few stamp sets, and that was it. That's all I grabbed. And I decided to try, and some adhesive, and I decided to try to make a layout. I was in a little office room at my husband's workplace, away from all the madness, and I had my laptop with me, which was a whole story altogether, because I had to use their Wi-Fi, and it would sometimes work, sometimes it wouldn't. So sometimes I would be able to see some videos or comment or take care of some personal stuff of my own. Sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't, and it was just a little hot mess. But anyways, I decided to challenge myself and make a layout using only the products that I had available to me. It is very much different when you're scrapbooking at home in your craft corner or your craft room or your craft space, as opposed to packing up a kit and traveling. And it's so funny because every time I wanted to do something, oh shoot, I don't have that. Oh, I don't have that. I didn't have any dies available to me. Although I did pack my circle dies, and that's another story. Sorry, D. That is such another story. Yeah, I didn't use it. So this is just a quick peek of some of my stickers that I still have left. I used a few for my layout. I used this one, and of course you don't know what they are. And then I used a few of the alphas, and I just love Echo Park because they just give you everything. I used some cardstock, so let me share with you what that layout was. And this is my layout. This is of my little girl Leanne, and I remember this day like it was yesterday. Of course it wasn't. It was a while back, where I used to work one of the hospitals in the Bronx, New York, where I worked. there was a friend of mine that had a lot of connections with the park services, and I did not know this, and I've been a New Yorker all my life, but Central Park has a children's theater, and from time to time they do, and Central Park is in Manhattan, New York, for those of you who don't know the park. It's, I believe, one of the biggest parks in New York. They have a children's theater, and from time to time they have children puppet shows for free. The only catch is you have to request the tickets. It's on a first come first served basis, and once the tickets are done, they're done. And I happened to be lucky enough to get some tickets. It was the twins, myself, the children's godmother, and her son. And right before, we really didn't want to miss the show, so we arrived at Central Park maybe an hour and a half early. So we got the kids together and we took them to the park area, and they had ice cream and snacks before the show. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the puppet show was Pinocchio. They did not allow us to take pictures inside the theater. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. We couldn't take any pictures of the theater, inside the theater, of the show. So the only pictures and memories I have of that day are the children playing in the park, and thank goodness we were there early enough so that I could take those pictures. Anyways, so what I started out with was one of these green papers that actually came with the collection, and I used these letters on top that say Central Park. I actually I wanted them to keep that kind of light beige brown you know, earth tone to it. But then what I did was I took my worn lipstick, and because it's almost treated with some kind of chemical that makes it kind of slippery, I purposely took each one of these letters and I dumped them into the worn lipstick, and then I took a napkin and I rubbed it off, and it caught on the corners and the edges of the letters, but not so much on the top part, the middle part of the letters, which was fine because I loved the effect that it left behind. So that's what I did to the top. Running through the middle of this layout, I have a piece of the design paper, which is a beautiful mint chevron, and as you can see, I also distressed it with some worn lipstick. I added 2 of my little recollections birdies, which I also covered with worn lipstick and mowed lawn distressings, and that little birdie over here in the corner as well. I have this pink cardstock, which is embossed with little, I don't know if you can see it there. There you go. Those little dots. I used that as a piece of paper for the background of my photo. Then I took my photo and I matted it with white cardstock and yellow, which the yellow was part of the collection kit. I don't know if you can see that there. To my little girl's photo, and this, you know, you can't see this. The photo wasn't that great to begin with, but you can't see. You can see it even less through the camera. But she's basically on top of a big boulder in the park, and she's kind of sitting down on the boulder. So I have a little wood piece here that says "perfect," and this was gifted to me by one of my sweet friends. I think it was Tiger Mom. It was either Tiger Mom or Louise that gifted this to me. And then I have some little heart chipboard pieces that came in the collection as part of the collection. I have these wooden butterfly pieces here that I had in my stash. And on top of what I did was I colored them with the distressings. I used worn lipstick for this one. I used dried marigold for this one, and mowed lawn for this one. And I don't know if you can see all 3 of them. There you go. Then I added buttons to the top of all the butterflies. Here, this is a sticker from the collection. I just matted it with some yellow and pink cardstock. Below that, I have a dragonfly, also a wood piece that I also colored in with mold lawn and broken china. I paper pieced some of these little windmills, and I just added them on. I wrote her name, Leanne, and this was part of the Echo Park stickers. Over here, I fussy cut some more of those windmills, and I added them to this paper, whoopsies, to this beautiful designer paper that I cut and fussy cut out. And I also added some pop dots, and I also added some teeny tiny buttons. I don't know if you can see those buttons. They are so small. Those teeny tiny buttons that I've had in my stash forever. I added that to the center of each one of the windmills. I put them on pop dots and added them to this strip of paper that I fussy cut that was part of the paper collection as well. Underneath that, I added a sticker. You are one of a kind. Again, fussy cut this chevron. I just love the colors on this. I really like the design paper a lot, so I didn't want to cover it too much. So again, I ran another strip going across the page. Here I have some chipboard numbers, and this is actually to another different collection. This is from, I believe it's Heidi Grace, the underwater paper collection that I had years ago. So yeah, it says 2006. I added another one of those little windmills that I fussy cut with, again, another teeny tiny little button. Over here, I created a pocket tag for some hidden journaling, and this shape here I actually created using the Labels 1 die from Diamond Dies. And what I did was I just placed it like this, and then I traced over it with pencil. Since I didn't have access to a die cutting machine, only I did it this way. And then I fussy cut around it once I traced it out in pencil, and then I just created a little pocket. And inside there I have this that came from the paper collection, which I made a boo-boo. It kind of stuck something there, so I'm going to cover that up with a little bird from the paper collection. And then in the back, plenty of room for journaling, and I'm going to do some more stamping here. And then that just tucks in here. Because I made the pocket so low, I have to actually lift it up to put it in. And then on the pocket, I fussy cut some more design paper. I took a sticker from the paper collection, which I added some buttons to, and I added another little birdie right there, and then I just glued it down. So yeah, this was one heck of a challenge for me. Actually, it was a lot more fun than I thought, because I think, oh, and I added 3 pieces of different color twine over here across that page in pink, green, and orange. And actually, this one, I didn't have my good scissors with me, so I kind of forgot to cut these little strings. These were supposed to be snipped before I made the video. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks better now. It was fun to try to create something without having every little doohickey and doodad around me. It's nice to go back. I used to scrapbook like this years ago when I didn't have much in my craft room and I didn't have a lot of supplies. I relied a lot just on my kits and my glue and a few embellishments, not many at all. And that's what this reminded me of. And it was nice to go back to a place where I originally first started, when I started scrapbooking and making layouts. Sometimes I think we forget how very creative we can be with minimal products. And if we let the paper do most of the work, it can still come out just as pretty. Not that I don't love my new, all my little gadgets and my new products, but it was just nice. It was something different, and it got the creative juices flowing, especially under the circumstances that I was in. So, anyway, I hope you like the layout. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a most blessed day. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try to get to you as soon as possible. Thank you all for your support, and have a most blessed day. Bye for now.